Greetings, friends. It's overcast and time for the ride home. Drive home. Drive home. You're riding. I'm driving. Yeah, it is overcast, so no terrible God rays coming in through the back window and backlighting me or causing any issues or anything like that. We still got heavy construction in this area. It's a lot of fun. But yes, nothing. Oh, lady with the stroller crossing. There we go. I did not hit the kid. Bonus points for me. Yes. Anyways, so as you can see, no painful light coming in. So thank you, nature, for giving me some overcast, which is probably going to be the case more often than not for the next couple of months. So good recording weather. Let's hear. What can I tell you guys today? What is the one weird thing Oregon drivers are missing out on? Pumping their own goddamn gas. Lazy bastards. No, I'm just kidding. I always do think that it's funny about Oregon, though, how you can't pump your own gas. But I guess in some way that gets rid of a lot of theft, because, you know, people can't pump and run if you got somebody else kind of controlling everything. Although can you really even do that nowadays? I mean, you always have to put your card in and everything like that, and if you're paying cash, you have to do it up front, so I don't know. Let's hear philosophy. What philosophical question would I like to see answered? I don't know. I mean, I usually take the scientific method on a lot of things, so I don't get too heavily into philosophy. I think it would have to be presented to me and then talked about. Although philosophy is interesting, there's all sorts of, like, what's the meaning of life and all that other stuff. Of course, the answer is 42. But do we need more than that? Some people say yes. I'm okay with 42. 42 is a good enough answer for me. You know, and then, you know, what it boils down to is, you know, be nice. Try to leave the world in a better place than what you found it in. Have a nice cup of tea every once in a while. Generally, don't be an asshole. I think that's a good enough meaning of life for me. Good philosophy to follow. Yeah, just kind of stick with that. Somebody was asking me about a local representative in one of his initiatives, so oh boy, let's get political. Now keep in mind, these are just opinions. Not here to start a flame war. Don't want anybody getting upset about things. It's just my own personal belief structure, and there we are. I don't really think it's that radical. Anyways, the initiative that came into question was one concerning gun control, and boy, is that a hot topic with some people. I would like to preface off the beginning, I like guns. I think guns are cool. I own a gun. However, let me reiterate that I own a gun. Not a gun nut. It was given to me as a gift. I barely ever shoot it. Not that I don't want to. It's just I'd have to go to the range. I'd have to buy ammunition, and there's just other things I'd rather spend money on. And I don't want to go by myself, and I only have one other person out here that I go shooting with. So I gotta, you know, make arrangements and all that other stuff. And it's just a hassle. And so it just sets, which is fine. Anyways, back to the initiative at hand. So it seems like, now I am not a lawyer, nor did I didn't spend a lot of time researching this, so I didn't read the entire thing. But what it seemed to me, what the general summary was, is that if a family member, it had to be somebody relatively close, it had to be a family member, I don't think it could be a friend or anything like that. If a family member thinks that you are acting strangely in a very clear direction towards hurting yourself or others. So what basically a mental attitude that would probably get you institutionalized. They could get a temporary seizure of your firearms if that seemed to be the case. Now, mind you, this is also one of those things where you would have to I'm assuming, again, I didn't read the whole thing, so these are all assumptions coming off of me, so I could be totally wrong, but this is just from what I read and my opinion based on it. You would then need a mental evaluation, and if the mental evaluation cleared you, and basically, like, now your family member was seeing things that weren't there or what have you, you'd get your firearms back. However, if they did deem that you were mentally unstable for one reason or another, then yes, you would probably have your firearm seized. I don't remember actually reading anything about a permanency to that seizure, but I don't know what would get them back for you. I guess maybe standard mental evaluations or something along those lines. And until you cleared those, you wouldn't get your firearms back. To an extent, I think this is a good idea. Firearms are designed for one thing and one thing only, which is killing people. Well, okay, killing things, not necessarily killing people. Now, mind you, we can use them for other things. I will only use my firearm for target shooting, or going to the range, or anything like that. It stays locked up in a room that's nowhere near me most of the time. So it's not a self-defense weapon. I don't even consider it one. I have other things in my house that I can use for self-defense. So yeah, that doesn't enter into it with my own mentality. I gotta remember to mute my stupid phone when I'm doing this. Anyways, so I do feel this is a good thing, because if people are mentally unstable, they shouldn't have access to something that is designed specifically to kill somebody. Now, I've heard arguments about, well, tons of people are killed in cars, so why don't we ban cars? And I think it's a dumb argument. That is a very stupid argument, and there's a couple of reasons for that. One, I don't think guns should be banned. I think guns access should be limited to a certain extent. Most people, I mean, as will be touted, the Second Amendment and all that other stuff, most people should have access to firearms. I don't see that being a problem. I do see people who are mentally unstable not having access to firearms. Now, when you bring up the car debate, all right, sure. If you want to treat a firearm like a car, then let's start treating them like cars. And what do you have to do with cars? You have to do a test to prove that you can use one safely. You have to get a renewed license that you have to keep up on. You have to register your car and keep that up every year and pay a registration for that, so the government knows who owns what and basically where it should be located. So if you want to treat firearms like cars, then let's go ahead and do that. I don't see anything wrong with requiring a firearm license of some sort with some basic training. I think if you want a firearm, you should be required to get basic training. I will admit, I do not have basic firearm training. However, I also don't think I'm hot shit with a firearm, so I don't plan on doing anything with it. I would like to get basic firearm training. But yeah, registration, you want to go that route? This is something that cannot be properly discussed in a single video or with just me spouting stuff to you on camera. So if you want to have a talk about this, we should actually have a talk about this at some point. But this is where I am as far as that initiative was concerned. Anyways, that was fun, wasn't it? Let's get a drink. I'll see you at home.